Hi there. Thanks for joining me today. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're old here, welcome back. I'm Catherine. I'm working on a journal here from an old book. Pardon me. I know it's over 100 years old, but I don't know the exact date. All I know is when the publisher changed buildings. So this one was done in the old building, which means that it's prior to 1916. So we have that little hint, and that's good enough for me. Obviously, it's titled The Four Little Mischiefs, so it's even being mischievous about how old it really is. And I guess a proper lady, that's the way it is, isn't it? I certainly didn't know how old my mother was till she was 47. And it was only because my brother Randy blurted it out at her birthday dinner one night. Was she ever mad? She didn't think it was funny at all. He'd bought her a birthday card that said happy birthday, I think 4-year-old, and he put an X through it and he wrote 47-year-old. And she did not, the look that she flashed at him. Oh my goodness. Oh, I would not want to have received the look that he got. And yet on the other hand, I thought, oh my goodness, my mother's 47. I had no idea. But that's the way it was back then. You didn't talk about how old you were. How did I get on that topic? Anyhow, thank you for joining me today. We're going to work still on the cover. We got a lot of work done yesterday on our Four Little Mischiefs. I'm so happy with how our little fairy turned out here. She just looks so lovely, and I think she's beautiful. She still needs a bit more work done. I want to put some brads in here, and I want to put our little toad here. I decided our little toad needs, sorry, I've got some paper back here. Sometimes the envelopes that they were on, sometimes I'm not patient soaking them off. There we go. Anyhow, I liked this little stamp. I thought I'd make him a collage. At first I thought I'd put him solo back here, just on his own. But I do think I want to put my name tag back here. And if that's the case, then I want a little bit of a collage going on back here too. So we got a bit of work to do today. And this stamp, it's from France, and I just thought it was perfect because it's got a castle on it. And you know what? If it's going to be a magical kind of book when you're wandering through the woods, how nice would it be to come to a clearing and see a castle in the distance? So he's going to have this little castle back here, and it's got a little bit of brown and green in it, so I like that. I'm not sure. I'm not going to worry about that so much right now. Pulled the signatures out of Jessie the Pressy, and I finished adding in lots of laces. It's going to look so pretty. Look at those. Aren't they pretty? These ones, I don't know how old they are. These are old. These little pointy ones are old. So you get a little bit of everything in my books because they're junk journals. They're made from someone else's junk, or sometimes it's my junk. Anyhow, so let's get to work. Hold on. I got someone fluffy thinking she's going to get to work. What are you into? Into your little baba. That's good. Lie down. It's time for snoozy time. Place. That's a good girl. Good girl. She's staring at me the way my mother stared at my brother. It's that sort of Who do you think you are telling me to lie down? Anyhow, so we have a few things to do. I thought this looked empty. And this is what I was going to put back here with him. But I really like that it's a little bit off kilter here. And I really like this little tag that says journal. And again, I specifically don't want them straight, north, south, east, west, because the lines on the cover, the printed lines, are straight, and she's on there straight, but the four little mischiefs, they're not straight because they're mischievous. So I feel like there should be some mischief in portions of this book. So we're going to glue these down, and I want to bring that closer, so I'm going to bring this up like that, and that way I can see what I'm doing better. So I'm going to use 3-in-1 simply because I want it to hold down as best as it can. So either 3-in-1 or else gel medium. That would hold very nicely as well too. But my 3-in-1 is handy if I can get it out. Yesterday too much was coming out, and today it's being persnickety. You just have to be careful, as ever. I know I'm so repetitive. But 3-in-1, if you get any of it on the cover, it will dry shiny. And everyone will know what you're up to. Oh, I need some paper. Come on, thank you. I'm just smoothing it down. 3-in-1 can start to thicken quickly. So I want it out to the corners. Come on, you. Thank you. And I better make sure that I've got this straight up and down. And then I want it to come out over this line. If you don't push it down too quickly, you should be all right. Now, you oldies who've been here for a while, if you look carefully, I got a little bit of the 3-in-1. Oh, all right, Jeremy, you go over there for now. I got a little bit right there, but if I let it dry, I can roll it off with an eraser. It's when you mush it in while it's wet that there's no getting it off. So that's the trick, is having the patience to leave it alone till it's dry, because then yes, you'll be able to get it off. This is really mucky. That's why I was using it earlier. All right, that's why you're giving me a hard time. Ah, the joys of our glue. And again, this one, I don't want it necessarily. I hope I'm in camera. I am. I don't want it necessarily too perfect. I almost want it very childlike. There we go. Beautiful. Let's clean this off because it's giving me grief. I don't need any grief. There we go. All right. So, eraser, eraser. This should be dry. And that should roll right off. And there it goes. Gone. And I'm a happy girl. There we go. These, if you're interested, these are from that really cool book of labels. One of the rare things that I purchased new and no regrets. The Vintage Label Ephemera Collection. Because I have no way of getting labels like that. And they're so cool. All right, let's finish this before we move on to that. I've been saving him for something, and I think this little book, I think that little field mouse needs to go into that little book. Under there. You're feeling a little bit fidgety today, miss. All right, so you're going to need your awl. I eyeball it. I know I'm going to use my small brads, so I approximately know where I want them to be. So I'm just going to eyeball it. I like lots of room. And I put my gardener's pad underneath. And I just eyeball it. You're probably already thinking ahead. In we go. You're probably thinking, Catherine, but you put that down there. We're not going to put a brad there. It's going to be as if the little bridal lace is covering up if there was a brad under there, but there's no need for it. If there's 3 brads, that will be more than enough. And then we will have our paper volcanoes over here, which we will need to remove because they'll stick up, and then our pretty end papers won't look pretty. So we have to take care of these volcanoes. Which is simple enough. Just always aim your knife away from your other hand. So it doesn't go into your other hand. There we go. Awesome. Okay. So I'm just going to poke-a-roo through there. Make sure we got lots of room. Sometimes with the brads, especially if it's the bigger brads, pardon me, I find that I need to use, let me find it, an X-Acto with this shape of blade and do a slit in the direction that you want the wings to flip out. So keep that in mind if you're using larger brads. Now I need to decide what color brads to use. I wish I had pink. I don't have pink. I wonder if the coppery rose gold. Let's put one in, shall we? I seldom use them. Oh, and see, I like that because her little hat. Let's take a look. I find these gold ones are just way too yellowy gold for me. It's a rare thing that I use, but I do enjoy all of these. And these I will just simply, I'm just not usually a silver kind of person. But there is a time and a place for it. Oh, I think I'm going to go with the coppery, pinky copper. Wow, that's unusual for me. Let's see. And that will keep her on there nice and sturdy. See, these are all fine. This sort of thing, that will stay on just fine. And if it starts to lift a bit, handy people know how to glue it back down, or even just let it start tearing and mucking up, because that's what old books do. And you're just, yeah, okay. Decision done. Then that's not the one I was expecting. I like happy little surprises like that. Let's turn you over. And let's find a knife. I still have to finish cleaning that up. So that it's like the other side. And then I have to figure out my end papers. And that's usually one of my favorite things to do. It's one of my first things that I like doing is figuring out the end papers. I'm going to do that this afternoon, I think. Oh, she's going to look so nice. Look how nice that looks. I'm so happy. Now I need to see what this is going to look like. I hope I haven't put too many pages in. Yeah, I still got a good squeeze. I got a good pinch there. You've got to be able to get a good pinch to make sure that you've got room to put in a few little tags and things like that. I'm a little worried, but it's nothing that I can't remedy. I've done a lot of tip outs in this book. Isn't that cool? Using my little splasheroony thing. Things like this. Oh, what have you done? Let go. Thank you. Things like that. There's one. Tons of old papers in this one. Look at all that old writing on there. December 18th. Oh, isn't that cute? Now here I am saying that I did a lot of flip outs. Oh, there's one. I may leave tip outs on one side and take the tip out off of the other side. A tip out really bulks up a book. But fortunately, it's something that you can remedy simply by cutting it off. If you find that you've got it all together, you've sewn it together, too bulky, that's one way of debulking. This is one of my lovely Nancy envelopes, her avocado dyeing that she did. Remember when she went through her avocado phase? I loved the avocado phase. I got a lot of paper and stuff thrown at me. It was fantastic. Anyhow, I took it apart, so that will get sewn in like this and then glued back together again. And it will be in the center of the book. Oh, come on. Yeah, see, here's another one. Oh, but look at how nicely tea-stained that is. And I found tons of papers that have leaves and grass in them. That's the front page from Through the Looking Glass. Sears catalog. Oh, I gotta put some more tape on it. It's really trying to fall apart. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go through this again and see if there's ways. See, I don't want to take that off because I love the holes in this ledger paper. There's the other side. Okay, it's not quite as pretty. Sorry, no offense. I blame it on Disney that now I worry that things like paper and fabric have feelings. It's Disney's fault. Oh, there's that old lace. I tea-dyed it, in case you're wondering about the color. There's an old, it's either a check or a receipt. I think it's a receipt. I see received there. Yep, received. So it's a receipt. We don't get pretty receipts like that anymore. We get the cash register tape. Not as pretty. Yacht log. I shouldn't be borrowing trouble. Here's some more paper. Do you remember I found this the other week at my thrift store, and it's got leaves and things in it. So we'll have to try that. I need to find this book and write down the year. Hold on. I'm going to do it right now while I'm thinking of it. Found it. 1937. So, Kelsey, in case you're wondering why I'm doing that, I do it in pencil. That way, if you don't want it down there, you can erase it. But if you're like me and you're curious and you enjoy old things, I like knowing, when possible, how old the papers are that are in things. Oh, I love it so much. All right, let's get to work. Enough of this oohing and awing over the signatures. Oh, I put the, did we go over this part yesterday? I put them all in. And I put extra, right there, I put extra little tie downs on those ones, just to be on the safe side. Oh, I love her little, look how cute. All right, now, paper. I think I want to go green around the edge of this, but I want my pale green. I want this one. I have a darker green, but it's really, really vivid. And I can always go to the darker green, but I can't go backwards. Okay, green, green. Oh, I'm gonna have to tape that down. This one's a lighter green. And if I need to, I can always go right to brown. Okay. Let's move you over. Oh, I'm looking forward this afternoon to finding the end papers. I think I have someone who needs to visit her outside washroom. All right. All right, all right, all right. Where are my... There they go. I need one of my little... See, I think that one's too big. I think I need to go with a smaller one. Okay, I'm going to have to pause and take a little person, a little fluffy person out. So, I'll be back. Okay, I completely forget where we left off because I had a little lady who needed to visit the backyard. We'll just leave it at that because she's delicate and private, but we had success. And then, of course, I noticed that it was lunchtime and we both needed our lunch. And so now I have no idea where I left off. So if I'm repetitive, apologies. And if not, we're going to get going on getting this back part finished. So I've thought about it while I was eating lunch. I don't want the green. I want brown. So that's quite all right. Brown, as you can tell, covers up the green very nicely. And if a little bit of green shows through, we like green. But I really want to be rather vigorous with this brown. I'm liking it. I want to add a bit more. I have inked a little around our little fishing frog. our little Beatrix Potter there. I'm going to give a little bit more around him. There we go. And now my my little name label. Let's put this in. I want it darker. There we go. And if you're wondering what it just says my name. It says 2023. And then there's room here for me to sign it. And I always sign my initials. In case you were wondering, that says CABC. Alrighty, so I think what I'm going to do for the back, just to avoid any of my nerve-wrackings, is I'm going to go ahead and use some Liquitex gel medium, because then I can use a tiny little brush and we're all good. Well, that needs a little help, doesn't it? Every once in a while you got to clean up your gel medium jars. I thought I had, but oh well. I made an error with this one night and left it uncapped overnight, and I was extremely sad. Now, with this little lady, I like it to be a little shiny. So I'm going to go over it with some gel medium ahead of time. Just the one, the rest can be matte. This is a gloss gel medium. So it will dry quite quickly. I'm going to peel that off so that it doesn't dry on the paper, and I'm going to put it up here where it can finish drying. Did I get any on there? No, that's all right. And then we will go ahead with our little friend here and our little stamp. And then I'm going to finish off camera, and I'm going to finish just taking a little bit more of that edge. I've got quite a good bit of edge there to work with, but I'm going to take a bit more off just to be on the safe side. I haven't picked out my end papers yet, so we'll see. So this little fella is going to go here. I really like that this stamp is from France. That just sounds rather elegant to me. I think I want that to stay wet. I'm actually going to put it into, there we go. I don't normally do that. I usually wrap them in plastic, but it's such a tiny little brush. I want a little bit of, I don't like that that's white there. So I need, is that linen? That's linen. Yay. I want that yellowed up a bit. Oh, thank goodness for ink. The joys of ink. Much better. And maybe it's just me, but that's okay. To each his own, or her own, or their own. And this is my own for now, until it goes off to its new little home. Oh yes, I like that. I love him doing his little fishing in the pond there. And then, are you dry yet? Let's go acorn. I can see those fresh cut edges. So what I'm doing is that's better. I'm just darkening them up. Especially because this is more like a cardstock. And again, it's just me. It's something that afterwards would bug me. Because I'd notice it later and I'd go, why didn't I do that? And it would bug me. So we're going to get this done, and then a little certain someone who happens to have black curly hair with white in it, and that's also me, needs to go for WALK, and that's also me. But I don't need it spelled out because I can behave myself until it's time to go. But if someone else heard that word, the behavior would go out the window. I wish I got that excited about going on a WALK, but I don't. Now, I'm going to use a little bit of my favorite gentle tape. This is even gentler than painter's tape. I just want an approximate place to know where I want to put this little fella, and that just helps me know. After that, I can handle this and my little name tag just fine. I'm tempted to make that shiny just for a little. I'm going to think about it. All right, little Mr. Frog. Let's get you going. I think I need a bigger brush. Let's put you in the water, and let's find a larger brush so it doesn't take so long. There we go. Gel medium is wonderful. And I must say, I have to thank Kelly Bowler for introducing me to gel medium. Thank you, Kelly. I didn't know about it, and now I love it. Prior to gel medium, I thought that all there was in this world was Mod Podge, and there's nothing wrong with Mod Podge. I use it a lot. But I think in many ways, gel medium is better. Now, I'm not going to stick you down until I know that you are north-south, and this nice little pole helps me know. There. Now I don't need these anymore. I'll save them and reuse them. They're really helpful when, for example, I only want to do a bird and I don't want all the birds. This kind of tape helps with that. You saw me use it the other day when I had to put on the fleur-de-lis. I used this tape. It was quite expensive. Fortunately, my over-the-border handy lady was going through one of the craft stores. She's so wonderful. I know I go on and on about her, but honest to goodness, if I could have written out a list on who would be a wonderful junk journal friend to have, she just checks every box. And this woman was literally going through a hobby supplies store with her phone on FaceTime with me down in the States. Do you want this? Do you want this? What about this? Do you want this? Like, oh my goodness. Everyone deserves such a friend. Anyhow, she spotted this tape. She said, it's kind of expensive. Here, I'm talking while my paintbrush is drying. And she says, it looks kind of expensive, but it looks good. And I said, get me one. So she got it. And you know what? It is good. It's certainly more expensive than what you'd pay for like a gentle painter's tape at Home Depot kind of thing. But it's really nice and gentle. I gotta roll some of this off my fingers. Oh, I love this the little castle. Oh, my sweetie pie's trying to get a hold of me on the phone. He's probably on his way home from work. Well, I'm almost done here, and then I'll call him. Because there's nothing left to do but scrape off the rest of those old end papers. I don't want to cover up that beautiful. You know what? I wonder if I can still lift it. I want this to go under. There. Oh, thank goodness it's not as bad as art glitter glue for grabbing right away. I just want to see if I'm even Steven here. Gonna lift it up. Yes, okay. Now we will push down. There. I love it. I'm happy. Okay. Water. I always have a jar of soapy water over on my table. And if I'm lucky, I remember to wash them out as the last thing I do each night. And put lids on things. There we go. Oh, let me come back a bit. I'm so happy with that cover. Wow. I'm really in love. I love when I'm in love with a book that's going to go to someone special. let's just put this in here so we can really, really get our imaginations going. Oh, yes. That's going to be a pretty journal. Wow. Look at that, what we did together. And this little guy that we did together. Oh, I'm in love. Okay. Thanks for joining me during this love fest of the 4 little Mishchiefs. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we will get together soon. I'm not sure when, but soon. And stay healthy and safe. And if you're still here after all this, I hope you'll take a second and click on like. It really helps me. It pays for the glue. And if you're not already subscribed, I hope you'll subscribe. And you know what helps also paying for the glue is if you leave me a little message. And plus, I usually say hi back at you. So that's nice too. That YouTube takes all that into consideration into when they give us the teeniest, tiniest throwback to all the work we put into our videos. But I keep saying, Catherine, it pays for the glue. Take care, everyone. We'll talk soon. Bye.